It's Cleveland Indians baseball. We're at Cleveland Stadium as the Indians take on the Milwaukee Brewers. It is Saturday, June 12th. Earlier in the week on Sunday, the Indians finally ended their 13-game losing streak, beating Minnesota. And since then, they came back to Cleveland, had a 3-game series against the White Sox, where the Indians lost the first game of that series, and then they came back and won the next two. Last night, the Brewers were in town. And they defeated the Indians in 10 innings. Sam McDowell started for the Indians, and he was having difficulty with his control. He left the game in the 8th inning. And then Phil Hennigan came in, and he didn't pitch well either. And then Ray Lamb had to come in to finally end the inning. And going into the bottom of the 8th, Milwaukee was leading 8-1. But then in the bottom of the 8th, the Indians rallied and scored 5 runs. The big hit being a double from Fred Stanley that scored 2 runners. And then in the bottom of the 9th, with 2 outs, Vada Pinson got on base after a Ron Theobald error, and Chris Chambliss hit his first major league home run. And that tied the game in the bottom of the 9th, 8-8. And then in the 10th inning, Alan Foster came in to relieve. He was on short rest, and he walked Ellie Rodriguez and then gave up a home run to Dave May that put the score Milwaukee 10, Cleveland 8. And that was the final. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th, a pair of Ken Sanders walks put 2 men on base. But then Eddie Leone, who had been 3 for 4 during the game, grounded out to end the game. So Milwaukee ended up winning the game 10-8. This game's been fairly typical of the Indians' season this year. The Indians' hitters are keeping the team in games, and the pitching staff just isn't able to hold the line. This was another start where Sam McDowell had trouble with his control. He's been erratic all season. And Phil Hennigan had a rough outing. They ended up giving up 3 runs in the 8th inning, putting the game, it looked like, out of reach for Cleveland. Cleveland was down 8-1, but they scored 5 in the eighth and 2 in the ninth. So the team, despite their lack of success, they have a record right now of 18-37. They are still, I don't want to say playing good ball, but they're entertaining, and they I don't know, they're not boring. It doesn't seem like, oh, this is just going to be another loss, going to be another loss. It feels like they are in the game most of the time, but they just aren't able to come through when they need it, especially guys out of the bullpen. So that's something that they're going to have to look at in the future going into the 1970s. All right, we'll be back in a minute with the start of the game. This is WJST, Parma, Norwich, Tuscaloosa, and Utah. All right, it is June 12th, 1971, a Saturday. Cleveland Indians, who are 18-37, will be taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Milwaukee is 20-33. Cleveland is in last place in the AL East, and Milwaukee is in fifth place in the AL West. They are a game and a half behind Minnesota. The World Series champs from last year are struggling. And Cleveland is 4.5 games behind the fifth place Boston Red Sox. Jim Slayton will start for Milwaukee. He's made 3 starts on the year. He's 0-3 with an ERA of 3.91. His first start against Cleveland. He'll be opposed by Vince Colbert for Cleveland. He's made 3 starts on the year. He's 2-1 with an ERA of 2.87. His first start against Milwaukee. It's 79 degrees. It's a warm day down on the lake. Wind speed 3 miles per hour out to center field. So the wind will be heading out toward the lakefront. Milwaukee's starting lineup. Leading off will be the third baseman, Tommy Harper. Batting second, the second baseman, Ron Theobald. Batting third, the last night's hero for Milwaukee, Dave May. Batting fourth, the left fielder, Johnny Briggs. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Mike Hegan. He is a Cleveland connection. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Andy Cosco. Batting seventh, the shortstop, Rick Auerbach. Batting eighth, the catcher, Ellie Rodriguez. Batting ninth, the pitcher, Jim Slayton. Cleveland's defense, they have Ken Harrelson, the Hawk, at first base. Eddie Leone at second. Fred Stanley at shortstop. Greg Nettles at third. Ted Uhlaender in left field. Vada Pinson in center. Roy Foster in right. Ray Fosse catching, and on the mound, Vince Colbert. Colbert's a hard-throwing rookie. He's 2-1 with a save, an ERA of 2.87. 37 2/3 innings. He's given up 44 hits. Only 2 home runs. That's an unusually low amount of home runs for an Indians pitcher this year. He's walked 13 and he has struck out 17. He has been reasonably consistent this year for Cleveland. Leading off is Tommy Harper, the third baseman. He's hitting 263, 2 home runs, 29 runs batted in. Harper spent a year with the Indians in 1968. He had come over from Cincinnati. And then he was exposed to, in the expansion draft. He spent 1969 with the Seattle Pilots, where he stole 92 bases. Joe Schultz told him almost right from day one in spring training that he had the green light to go whenever he wanted. And he went a lot. He stole 92 bases, and he was caught stealing 16 times. Last year with the Brewers under, I guess, a more disciplined manager, Dave Bristol, he stole 34 and was caught 11 times. He has 239 steals in his career. Here's the first pitch. He bunts it on the ground. Harrelson has it. Throws to Colbert. But Harper's safe. Harrelson got a late break on that ball. Here is Ron Theobald. He's hitting 295, no home runs, and 15 runs batted in. He's a good-looking rookie this year. They call him the Little General. One of those rookies who is very self-assured, and he's already talking like a team leader. An excellent bunter. Nettles coming in for possible bunt. Changeup. He lays down a bunt. Colbert is on it. Throw to first. 1 out. Vince Colbert, he's another one of those Indians pitchers that can bring the heat. He could harness his control. He would become an excellent pitcher for the Indians. He's pitched in 16 games so far. This is his 17th appearance, and this is his 4th start. Here is Dave May, who's hitting 233 with 9 home runs and 30 runs batted in. He hit the 10th inning home run last night. Too high, ball 1. Another ball, ball 2. Fouls it back. Strike 1. It's a grounder into right field. That's a base hit. Harper holds at third. We have runners at the corners. 1 out. Here is Johnny Briggs hitting 260. 8 home runs, 27 runs batted in. This is Briggs' first year in the American League. He spent the remainder of his career going back to a short stint in 1964 in Philadelphia. Fastball, outside, ball 1. Changeup, high and tight, ball 2. Curveball, ball 3. Breaking ball Ball four. Briggs was taken all the way. Here is Mike Hegan. He's hitting 288, 1 home run, 6 runs batted in. Mike Hegan grew up in Cleveland, where his father, Jim Hegan, was a longtime catcher for the Cleveland Indians. Mike Hegan graduated from St. Ignatius High School in Cleveland, Ohio. And I believe when he was a senior, I think it was when he was a senior, he was voted the Catholic Athlete of the Year in Ohio. St. Ignatius, they are still around, and they were they still are one of the big rivals of my high school in the Cleveland area. Inside corner, strike one. Mike Hegan, spoiler alert, he never plays for the Indians, but he has a long-time association with the team after his playing days as a broadcaster, both on TV and on the radio. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Inside, ball 2. It's a fly ball in the center field. Pinson going back near the track. He's got it. Harper tags as Pinson throws it into the cutoff man. Milwaukee jumps out to an early 1-0 lead. Here is Andy Costco. He's hitting 255, 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Andy Costco got in some playing time with the Twins. Then he went to the World Series 2 years in a row, in 1968 with the Yankees and 1969 with the Dodgers. And he was a part-time player with the Dodgers last year. This is his first year with Milwaukee. He had an excellent postseason in 1969. He could probably never have to pay for another drink or meal in Los Angeles. He's hitting 200 against Cleveland. Strike one called. That one bounced to the plate. Ball 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That's high and inside. Ball 2. That's a base hit into left field. May rounds third. He'll score. It's 2-0 Milwaukee. Here's Rick Auerbach. He's another good-looking rookie for the Brewers. He's 21 years old. He's hitting 318, no home runs, and 5 runs batted in. Pops it up, third base side. Foul ground. Nettles is after it, but it makes the seats. It's fly ball to right field. Roy Foster coming in, and he's got it. 3 outs. But the Brewers get 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors. They left 2. We played 1 half inning. It's Milwaukee 2, Cleveland coming to bat. Cleveland starting lineup, leading off the center fielder, Vada Pinson. Batting second, the left fielder, Ted Uhlaender. Batting third, the catcher, Ray Fosse. Batting fourth, the third baseman, Greg Nettles. Batting fifth, the shortstop, Fred Stanley. Batting sixth, the first baseman, Ken Harrelson. Batting seventh, the right fielder, Roy Foster. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Eddie Leone. And batting ninth, the pitcher, Vince Colbert. Milwaukee on defense has Mike Hegan at first, Ron Theobald at second, Rick Arbach at short, Tommy Harper at third base, Johnny Briggs in left field, Dave May at center field, Andy Costco in right field, Ellie Rodriguez catching, and on the mound is Jim Slayton. Plays fastball pitcher. This is his rookie year. That puts 3 rookies in Milwaukee's starting lineup. Slayton is 0-3 with an ERA of 3.91. He has 23 innings pitched. He's given up 28 hits, 2 of those home runs. He has walked 13 and struck out 9. And leading off is Vada Pinson, who's hitting .242 with 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch. Pops it up on the infield. Tommy Harper calls for it, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Ted Uhlaender. He's hitting .291, no home runs, 13 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch. Fouls it back. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fly ball in the center field. Dave May going back on the track, and he's got it. 2 outs. Here is Ray Fosse. He's hitting .279 with 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in. He needs 2 backup catchers, Ken Suarez and Chuck Hinton. Hinton's their emergency catcher, actually. Both on the bench with nagging injuries. They're day-to-day, so it's just Fosse. If something should happen and the team needs an emergency catcher, it will probably be either Jack Heidemann or Fred Stanley. Fosse's hitting .279 with 4 home runs, 29 runs batted in. He's hitting .375 in the month of June. Pitch. It's a bouncer to Harper. Harper's up with it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the first. We played 1. It is Milwaukee 2. Cleveland nothing. Ellie Rodriguez leads off for Milwaukee. He's hitting .246 with 1 home run and 21 runs batted in. He was 2 for 5 last night. Drove in 3 runs, and he scored 2 runs. He also struck out twice, and one of his hits was a double. The 1-2 pitch. Swing, he tipped it, and Fosse hung on. Strike 3. 1 out. That's the first strikeout of the game for Vince Colbert. Here is Jim Slayton, who's hitting .167. No home runs, no runs batted in. He is 1 for 6 as a hitter this year. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 outs. And here is Tommy Harper, who's 1 for 1. He bunted for a single in the first inning. 2-0 pitch. He hits a fly ball in center field. Pinson drifting over. And now he's got to dive for it. He makes the catch. Yeah, it looks like the wind shifted a little bit. It caught it. Nothing across from Milwaukee in the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Milwaukee 2, Cleveland nothing. Greg Nettles leads off for Cleveland in the second inning. He's hitting 281, 13 home runs, and 40 runs batted in. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss, strike 3. Here is Fred Stanley. He was called up from Wichita on May 20th. He's hitting 333, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. With the success so far of Stanley and Chris Chambliss, Indians sent Gomer Hodge and let me see who else. Gomer Hodge and Kurt Bavacqua back down to Wichita. And they also called up Frank Baker. He is not to be confused with Frank Baker, the rookie shortstop for the Yankees. The Indians' Frank Baker is an outfielder. Fred Stanley, since coming up, he's hitting 333, 14 for 42. No home runs and 5 runs batted in. He was a little upset about starting the season in Wichita, but he has played well since coming up. He got in a 1 game with Seattle in 1969 and came over in the offseason via trade with Milwaukee. The 1-1 pitch. It's a grounder to third. Harper up with it. Throw to first. Bang, bang, play. He's safe. Stanley legs out a base hit. Here is Ken Harrelson, the Hawk. He's hitting 241, 5 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Right now he is alternating with Chris Chambliss at first base. Usually the Hawks starts against left-handers, and Chambliss has been starting against right-handers, but Harrelson gets the start today. Fastball right at the knee, strike 1. Outside, ball 1. Up around eye level, ball 2. Fouled it back. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fouls that one out of play. Count remains 2-2. It's a blooper into right field. That's a base hit. Costco was coming in, but it's not quick enough. Made a nice try on it, but he elected not to dive and possibly let the ball get past him. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here is Roy Foster, hitting 241, 6 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Foster's hitting 269 in May. He got off to a rough start in April, but he's been hitting the ball well in May and June. Liner down the third base line, but that's foul. Eddie Leon's on deck. Changeup. High pop-up. Rodriguez goes back, but it's in the seats. Too high, ball 1. Pops it up on the infield.
Infield fly. Batters up.
They call the infield fly on that. And Theobald takes it. We're a little late calling it the infield fly rule. Here is Eddie Leone. He's having an excellent season with the bat. He's hitting .294. 2 home runs, 20 runs batted in. He's hitting .400 in June. 14 for 35 with 1 home run. He has a 7-game hitting streak. Fouls it back. Strike 1. Fly ball, right field. Costco got a late start on that. It's a base hit. Stanley rounds third. He'll score. Harrelson stops at second. Cleveland cuts the Milwaukee lead to 2-1. Here is Vince Colbert. He's hitting .143, no home runs, 1 run batted in. He is 1 for 7 as a hitter. Curveball just below the belt, strike 1. High, barely outside, ball 1. That's below the knees, ball 2. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Situation Vince Scully called Deuces Wild. Gets off the plate, ball 3, full count. Runners will be going. Here's the payoff pitch.
Strike 3.
Swing and a miss. Strike. He chased the pitch out of the strike zone. 3 outs, but Cleveland gets 1 run, 3 hits, no errors. They left 2 on base. We played 2 at Cleveland Stadium. It's the Brewers 2, the Indians 1. Ron Theobald leads off for Milwaukee. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first. You recall, Tommy Harper bunted for a hit. Then Ron Theobald hit a sacrifice bunt that sent Harper to second base. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Low and away, ball 4. It's walk number 2 given up by Vince Colbert. And it's Dave May. He's 1 for 1. He singled the first, and that loaded the bases for the Brewers. Low, ball 1. Low and outside, ball 2. Strike 1 called. Fly ball into right field. Foster going back, but that's gone. Home run number 10 for Dave May. And that makes it 4-1. 336 feet. That made it into the general admission seats. Nobody out, and here is Johnny Briggs. He walked in the first inning. 2-1 pitch. It's a fly ball in the left field. Eulander's there, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Mike Hegan. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning. That scored Tommy Harper. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 3 for Vince Colbert. And here's Andy Costco, who's 1 for 1. He singled in the first, and that scored Dave May. The 0-1 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Stanley to his left has it. Go to first. 3 outs. But Milwaukee gets 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the third. It is Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 1. That home run was the 3rd home run given up by Vince Colbert this season. Vada Pinson leads off for Cleveland. He's 0 for 1. He popped out in the first inning. First pitch. Grounder to second. Theobald throws first. 1 out. And Ted Ullander, he's 0 for 1. He flied out in the first inning. Ray Fosse's on deck. Liner in the gap. May's after it. It gets past May. And Ullander is safe at second with a stand-up double. God said he dove for that. That is double number 9 for Ted Ullander. Here is Ray Fosse, who's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning. Curveball in the black inside. Strike 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Ball 1. Foul tip. Count remains 1 and 2. Fosse hits a ground ball down the third base line. That's foul.
Strike 3.
Swing. He foul tipped, and Rodriguez hung on. Strike 3. That's strikeout number 3 for Slate. Here's Greg Nettles, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. He looked at strike 1. I think he got fooled on a changeup. Strike 2 called.
Strike
3. He swung on a pitch out of the strike zone. Strikeout number 4 for Jim Slate. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We played 3 in Cleveland. It is Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 1. Take a look at some action around the league. Bottom of the 4th at Shea Stadium. Giants lead the Mets 2-0. Ken Henderson hit his 4th home run of the year for San Francisco. That's Juan Marichal against Nolan Ryan. With Henry Aaron getting his 3,000th hit. On Thursday. And then Ron Reed following that up, throwing a no-hitter against Houston last night. Guys in the baseball world are now on Willie Mays in San Francisco. He has 598 home runs. It's 2 home runs away from becoming only the 2nd player to hit at least 600 home runs. The only other player is Babe Ruth. Bottom of the 5th in Detroit. The Twins lead the Tigers 3-0. Tony Oliva hit his 12th home run here for Minnesota. That is Bert Blyleven, last year's Rookie of the Year, against Joe Niekro. Bert Blyleven is attempting to be the first pitcher to win 10 games this season. And at the bottom of the 1st at Wrigley Field, no score between the Reds and the Cubs. That's Ross Grimsley against Bill Pappas. Now back to the action in Cleveland. Rick Auerbach Leads off the fourth inning. He is 0 for 1. He flied out in the first inning. The 1-1 pitch. Hits a fly ball in center field. Pinson drifting back, and he's got it. 1 out. Here is Ellie Rodriguez, who's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second inning. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball. Bouncer right back to the mound. Goldberg throws, but it's too high. Harrelson had a leap for that. And he couldn't keep his foot on the bag. So Rodriguez is at first on Colbert's error. That's Colbert's first error of the year. And here's the pitcher, Jim Slayton. He's 0 for 1. He struck out the second inning. He's a good bunter, and they are playing him the bunt. Breaking ball. Swung on. He popped it up, but fouled it. Behind the plate. Strike 1. Low, ball 1. He bunts it. Ken Harrelson takes it. He throws to Leone covering. 2 outs as Rodriguez takes second on the sacrifice. Here is Tommy Harper, who's 1 for 2. He bunted for a single in the first and flied out in the second. Hitting .292 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. High and outside, barely. Ball 1. Just missed. High and inside, ball 2. Ball 3, almost hit him. Hit 1, late calls. In a minute, strike 2. Full count, 2 outs. Rodriguez will be going. Here's the payoff pitch. It's a grounder to third. Nettles is up with it. The throw to first. Outs. Nettles made a nice backhanded stop. He was able to get the very quick Tommy Harper. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the fourth. It's Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 1. Milwaukee has 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors. They've left 3 on base. Cleveland has 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error. They've left 3 men on base. Fred Stanley leads it off for Cleveland in the fourth. He is 1 for 1. He singled on the infield back in the second inning. 3-0 pitch. Low and inside, ball 4. Stanley was taken all the way. And here's Ken Harrelson. He's 1 for 1. He singled to right field last time up in the second inning. And Roy Foster's on deck. Breaking ball inside, ball 1. Too high, ball 2. That was a late called strike. Strike 1. Fouls it back. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2-2 pitch. Fly ball into center field. May going back at the track. Has it. 1 out. Stanley retreats back to first. Here's Roy Foster, who's 0 for 1. He popped out in the second inning. It's grounder to short. Auerbach, throw to second. No throw to first. Foster's on first on the fielder's choice. 2 outs. Here's Eddie Leone. He's 1 for 1. He singled to right in the second inning. That scored Fred Stanley. Outside, ball 1. It's a weak grounder to short. Auerbach has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We've played 4. The Brewers 4, Indians 1. Top of the 5th, it will be Ron Theobald, Dave May, and Johnny Briggs. Ron Theobald, he had a sacrifice bunt in the first and walked in the third. The 1-2 pitch. It's a shallow fly ball to right field. Foster coming in. And he's got it. 1 out. Here is Dave May. He's 2 for 2. He singled in the first, and he hit a 2-run homer in the third. The 0-2 pitch. It's a liner into right field. Base hit. That's his 3rd hit of the game. Foster missed the cutoff man, but May held it first. Here is Johnny Briggs. He's 0 for 1. He walked in the first, and he flied out in the third. Mike Egan's on deck. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Low, ball 1. Ball 2. Who's in there at the knees. Strike 2 called. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner on first. Fastball outside, ball 3. Full count. Low, ball 4. 3rd walk of the game given up by Vince Colbert. Here is Mike Egan, who's 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice fly in the first. That scored Tommy Harper with the first run of the game, and he struck out in the third. Ball 1. Egan's an excellent bunter. Nettles is creeping into third. Outside, ball 2. Ball 3. Nice grab by Fosse. That was almost a wild. There's 3 balls and no strikes. That's right down the middle for strike 1. Another fastball. Strike 2 called. Full count. May is running. Briggs breaking for second. 3 called. A play. Let's see how that. Fosse threw to third. And they caught Dave May stealing third. Take a look at that again. Break 3 called. Yep. May thrown out. Trying to steal. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 1. 5th for Cleveland will be Vince Colbert, Vada Pinson, and Ted Ulandon. Vince Colbert is 0 for 1. Struck out in the 2nd inning. First pitch. He gets a base hit into center field. It's his 2nd hit of the year. And here's Vada Pinson. He's 0 for 2. Popped out of the first, grounded out in the 3rd. That one bounced to the plate. Ball 1. Low roller. Back to the pitcher. Slayton. Throw to second for 1. The first. Double play. 1-4-3 double play. And here's Ted Ulandon. He's 1 for 2. He flied out in the first and he doubled in the third. 1-2 pitch. Bouncer down the third base line. Harper has it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nice backhanded stop by Harper. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, no one left. We played 5. It's an official game here in Cleveland. Milwaukee leads the Indians 4-1. Milwaukee scored 2 runs in the first. With bases loaded at 1 out. Mike Hegan hit a sacrifice fly to right field. That scored Tommy Harper. And the next hitter, Andy Costco, he singled in the left field, and that scored Dave May. That made it 2-0 Milwaukee. Then in the bottom of the second, with 1 out, Fred Stanley singled on the infield. Harrelson singled. That moved Fred Stanley to second. Roy Foster popped out. Called out on the infield fly rule. That made it 2 outs. Then Eddie Leone singled to right. That scored Fred Stanley. That made it 2-1. And then in the third, Ron Theobald led off with a walk, and then Dave May hit a 2-run homer down the right field line. That made it 4-1, and that's where we stand right now. Andy Costco leads off the 6th. He is 1 for 2. He singled in the first. That scored Dave May with the second run of the game. 2-2 pitch. Gets a base hit in the right field. Rounds first. He's going for second. He slides. He's safe. Like he saw that Roy Foster got kind of a slow jump on that one, and he did not slow down. That's his second double of the year. Here's Rick Auerbach. He is 0 for 2. He has a pair of flyouts. Bossy going out to talk to Vince Colbert. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Just above the letters, ball 1. It's bouncer to short. Stanley, he looks Costco back. Throw to first, 1 out. Here is Ellie Rodriguez. He's 0 for 2. He struck out, and he was safe on an error. Ball 1. Wrong list. Colbert, had thrown 93 pitches, and 39 of them have been balls. So he has been having some issues with his control. 1 ball, no strikes. In at the knees, strike 2, or strike 1 rather, I'm sorry. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Another fastball. Costco going for third. Fossey the throw. He's out. That's the second. The second time today that Fossey has thrown on his runner trying to steal third. Got Dave May in the last inning, and now Andy Costco. That pitch was called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Way into, he got a piece of Rodriguez's arm. Rodriguez tried to get out of the way, but wasn't able to. Here is Jim Slayton. He's 0 for 1. He struck out in the second. He had a sacrifice bunt in the fourth. Ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Late call, strike 2. There's some chin music. Ball 2. Hits it back to the mound. Goldberg throws it first. That's 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit. No errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 1. Ray Fosse leads off for Cleveland in the bottom of the 6th. He's 0 for 2 today. He grounded out in the 1st and struck out in the 3rd. The 0-1 pitch. Hits a long fly ball in center field. Dave May near the wall, and he's got it. 1 out. Here's Greg Nettles. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. Three-two pitch.
Ball 4.
Missed outside. Ball 4. That's the 2nd walk of the game given up by Slayton. Here's Fred Stanley. He's 1 for 1. He singled on the infield in the 2nd, and he walked in the 4th. Fastball. Swinging him at strike 1. That's ball 1. Low and inside, ball 2. Our friend Ellie Jr. is up to some mischief here. 1 pitch. It's fly ball down the left field line. Briggs is after it, but it turns foul. Balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Fastball. He fouls that one bad. Count remains 2-2. High, ball 3, full count. Base hit into the gap in right field. Stanley runs first, slides. He is safe. That's his 3rd double of the year. Nettles takes 3rd. He needs to have 1 out. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. And here's Ken Harrelson, who's 1 for 2. He singled in the 2nd and flied out in the 4th. Curveball outside, ball 1. That caught the corner, strike 1. Fly ball in the left field. Briggs drifting back. He's on the track. He's got it. Nettles tags. And Briggs throws to the cutoff man. Stanley remains at 2nd. It's 4-2 Milwaukee. Here's Roy Foster. He's 0 for 2 today. He popped out in the 2nd and grounded into a force play in the 4th. Just inside, ball. Slow, ball 2. At the shoulders and wide, ball 3. Side, ball 4. Here's on 1st and 2nd, 2 outs. And here is Eddie Leon. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled in the 2nd. That scored Fred Stanley. He needs 1st run. 3-0-1 against right-handed. It's Colbert's on deck. In the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Right 2 called. It's a grounder to first base. Hegan has it, and he'll take it himself. But he needs to get 1 run, 1 hit, no errors. They left 2 on base. We played 6. It is Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 2. 7th inning, Tommy Harper leads off. Top of the order for the Brewers. Harper's 1 for 3. He bunted for a single in the first. 3-1 pitch. It's a sharp grounder to short. Stanley's up with it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here is Ron Theobald. He's 0 for 1. Hit a sacrifice bunt in the first. Walked in the third. And he flew out in the fifth. The 0-1 pitch. He hits a grounder to short. Stanley bobbles it. But he gets control of it. Throws him out. 2 outs. Did a good job keeping that in front of him. Still able to make the play. Here is Dave May. Boy, he's been a hitting hero for the Brewers this weekend so far. He's 3 for 3. Singled in the first. Hit a 2-run homer in the second. Or in the third. And singled in the fifth. That home run he hit, that was his second home run of the weekend. He hit one last night as well. The 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 5 for Vince Coleman. Nothing across for Milwaukee in the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 2. Take a look around the league again. Top of the 8th at Shea Stadium. Giants lead the Mets 2-0. That is Juan Marichal working on a shutout. Jim McAndrews now pitching for the Mets. Bottom of the 8th in Detroit. Twins lead the Tigers 3-2. That's Bert Blyleven going for his 10th win against Tom Timmerman. Tigers relief ace. And top of the 4th at Wrigley Field. Cubs lead the Reds 3-1. Joe Pepitone hit his 10th home run of the year for the Cubs. That's Ross Grimsley, rookie, against Milt Pappas. Bottom of the 7th. Pinch hitting for Vince Colbert will be Frank Baker. Frank Baker was called up yesterday. He got into 15 games with the Indians in 1969. He spent all of 1968 serving in Vietnam. So he was in Vietnam a year after my uncle was. He is 0 for 2 on the season so far. He came in as a pinch hitter last night and stayed in the game. He's an outfielder. Go for 1 is a pinch hitter. 3-2 pitch. Inside ball 4. Here is Veda Pinson, who's 0 for 3. He represents the tying run. Grounded into a double play in the 5th. In tight, ball 1. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Pinson, he's up there hacking. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 5 for Chip Slate. Indians still have their two best pinch hitters this year on the bench. Chris Chambliss, who just came up, and Luke Camilli, who's having an excellent year pinch hitting, especially against left-handed pitchers. He is 5 for 8 as a pinch hitter. 2 doubles. Ted Uhlaender, he's 1 for 3. He doubled in the third. Foul tip, strike 1. Just below the belt, strike 2. Just a bit low. Uhlaender wasn't biting. Ball 1. High and tight, ball 2. High and outside, ball 3, full count. Strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for Jim Slayton. And here's Ray Fosse. He's over 3 today. He's due. High and away, ball 1.
Dead ball.
Oh, he got hit in the leg. Obviously did not want to hit him. That puts the tying run on first. Now Greg Nettles is up. He's 0 for 2. He walked his last time up. He represents the go-ahead run. And with 13 home runs this year, he is capable of putting the Indians ahead with one swing of the bat. Struck out twice today. Curveball, hit the corner, strike 1. Ball 1. Way inside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rodriguez had a jump for that one. Ball 3. Take the wild pitch. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Hits a slow roller to third. And Harper just has to hold it. No chance of a play anywhere. That leaves the bases loaded, 2 outs. And here's the rookie, Fred Stanley, who's 2 for 2 today. Singled in the second, walked in the fourth, doubled in the sixth. Hitting .364 on the year. He is making the most of his opportunity with the Indians this year. Ball, swing and a miss, strike 1. Low, ball 1, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. High, ball 2, Indians down by 2. Base hit could change the complexion of this game in an instant. It's a fly ball in the right field. Costco drifting back on the track, and he's got it. 3 outs. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. They left the bases loaded. We go to the 8th inning. It is Milwaukee 4, Cleveland 2. Coming in a pitch for Cleveland is Ed Farmer. Another recent call-up from Wichita. Farmer was called up on June 1st. He's a rookie. This is his 5th appearance. He's had 1 start. He has a record of 0-1, an ERA of 4.91. In 11 innings pitched, he has given up 12 hits. He has 2 of those were home runs. He's walked 6 and struck out 7. He's another hard-throwing youngster that the Indians have. Johnny Briggs leads off for Milwaukee in the 8th. He is 0 for 1. He has a pair of walks and a flyout. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Here's Mike Hegan. He's 0 for 2. He had a sacrifice fly in the first. Then he struck out in the third, struck out in the fifth, and Dave May was caught stealing third. The 1-1 pitch. It's a liner in the right field, but it's right at Foster. He was played perfectly. Foster didn't have to move for that one. 2 outs. And here's Andy Costco. He's 2 for 3. He singled in the first. That scored Dave May. That made it 2-0 Milwaukee. He grounded out in the third, and he doubled in the sixth. 3-1 pitch. Fly ball into left field. Uhlaender going back. Uhlaender crashes into the wall. Home run. He crashed into the wall. That might have jarred the ball loose from his glove and put the ball over. It's 5-2 Milwaukee. He's shaken up, but he's going to stay in the game. Here is Rick Auerbach. He is 0 for 3 today. The 3-2 pitch. It's a high chopper to third. Nettles to his left. Has it. Throws him out. But Milwaukee gets 1 run. 1 hit. No errors. No one left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is Milwaukee 5, Cleveland 2. Bill Voss will come into play right field for Milwaukee, taking over for Andy Costco. Bottom of the 8th for Cleveland will be Ken Harrelson, Roy Foster, and Eddie Leone. Ken Harrelson is 1 for 2. He singled in the second, flied out in the fourth, and he had a sacrifice fly in the sixth, scoring Greg Nettles. He needs second run of the game. The 0-1 pitch. It's a hard grounder to short. Auerbach's up. Throw to first. 1 out. Here is Roy Foster. He's 0 for 2. Popped out in the second, grounded into a force play in the fourth, and he walked in the sixth. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's strikeout number 7 for Jim Slate. Here's Eddie Leone. He's 1 for 3. He singled in the second. That scored Fred Stanley. The 1-0 pitch. It's a grounder third. Harper up with it. Throw to first. 3 outs. Nothing across for Cleveland in the bottom of the 8th. We head to the 9th. Milwaukee leads 5-2. Ellie Rodriguez leads off the 9th inning for Milwaukee. He's 0 for 2 today. He struck out. He was safe on an error, and he was hit by a pitch. 2-2 pitch. Curveball. Fly ball down the left field line. Uhlaender after it, but it makes the seats in foul ground. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. He chased one out of the strike zone. 1 out. Here's Jim Slayton. He's 0 for 2. Struck out the second. Hit a sacrifice bunt the fourth, and grounded to the pitcher in the sixth. 1-2 pitch. It's grounder to third. Nettles to his left. Has it. 2 outs. And here is Tommy Harper, who's 1 for 4. He bunted for a single in the first, and he scored the first run of the game. The 1-1 pitch. Foul tip. Strike 2. Ball 4. First walk of the game given up by Ed Farmer. Here's Ron Theobald. He's 0 for 2. Had a sacrifice bunt in the first, walked in the third, flied out in the fifth, and grounded out in the seventh. In at the knee, strike one. Up and in, ball one.
Foul ball.
Fouled it back. Strike two.
Strike three.
Swing and a miss, strike three. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's Milwaukee 5, Cleveland 2. Bob Heiss will be coming in to play shortstop for Milwaukee, replacing Rick Auerbach. Slayton comes out, trying for a complete game victory. Let's see. This would be his first complete game if he gets it. And he's looking to get his first major league win as well. Pinch hitting for Ed Farmer is Chris Chambliss. Phenom, who was delayed twice coming up from Wichita with injuries to his ankle. Finally made his first appearance with the Indians on May 28th. Went 0 for 5 in his first game. That was against the White Sox. And in his second game, he went 4 for 4. Scored 2 runs. He is hitting .316, 1 home run, 5 runs batted in. He's hitting .500 with 1 RBI as a pinch hitter. 1 for 2 as a pinch hitter. 1-2 pitch. It's a grounder to short. Heiss up with it. Throw to first. 1 out. Here is Veda Pinson, who's 0 for 4. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Heiss to his left. Has it. Throw to first. 2 outs. The Indians are down to their last out. And it's up to Ted Ullander. He's 1 for 4. He doubled in the third. The 1-1 pitch. It's a slow roller to first. Egan has it. He'll take it himself. And that's the ball game. Brewers beat the Indians 5-2. Brewers had 5 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on base. The Indians had 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. They left 9 men on base. Jim Slayton went the distance. His first complete game and his first major league victory. He is now 1-3. He gave up 7 hits, 2 runs. They were both earned. He walked 4, struck out 7. He looked pretty good today. Vince Colbert, he takes a loss. He's 2-2. He pitched 7 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. They were all earned. He gave up 1 2-run home run. He walked 3, struck out 5. Ed Farmer got in 2 innings of relief. He gave up 1 hit, 1 run. That was earned. That was a home run. Home run by Andy Cosco. He walked 1. He struck out 3. Star of the game is Jim Slayton. I don't know what they gave the stars of the game back in 1971. Maybe a gift certificate to Swing. I think Swingos was up and running in 71, but I don't know if its keg and quarter was open yet. The bar and hotel that catered to professional athletes and rock stars and famous actors that would appear at Playhouse Square. Yeah, let's see. The Indians had runners in 6 of the 9 innings, but they were only able to put together 2 runs. And Slayton got the last 7 men out. So the Indians were hitless in the 8th and 9th innings. Time of the game, 2 hours and 57 minutes. We'll be here tomorrow as Cleveland tries to avoid the sweep. Let's see, the probable pitchers will be Marty Patton for Milwaukee and Steve Dunning for Cleveland. Once again, the final score, Milwaukee 5, Cleveland 2. I hope you enjoyed this game, and thank you for watching.